Alright, guys, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it straight. I haven't made a video in a while, but, it's just, I haven't really had the energy or the will to make YouTube videos anymore. It's just ain't really, you know, something I'm concerned with anymore. I used to be really big into YouTube. Like, I loved it. And I'm going to talk about what got me to make YouTube videos in the first place, wrestling. And today's topic, TNA and WWE suck. Now, I made WWE Sucks videos before. It's been a while, but, I'm going to update it, make more relevant videos, stuff that get cat, uh, stuff more up to date, because all my videos are pretty old and, you know, from my old channels. So, moving on. Uh, I haven't watched WWE or TNA in a long time. I'll, see some stuff on YouTube every now and then. I know what's going on generally. I can tell you what is keeping me from watching WWE and TNA and what I'm watching currently, or what I'm trying to watch currently, but they're kind of, waiting on season two. And, my general thoughts on pretty much everything wrestling. And I'm trying to lay it out for you. TNA, I haven't watched since February, around I think it was the Impact right after lockdown. It's 2015, by the way. So if I re-upload this or do this any other time, we'll know the date. It's 2015. The current date is October 22nd, 2015. And WWE, I've not been able to sit through a full episode of Raw since they went 3 hours, and even when there was 2 hours, I really since maybe 2011. When the summer of Punk, I started watching again because I was into Punk. I will watch The Miz. I was oddly impressed with The Miz when he was champion. I've always hated Miz. I was joking. I was making all these jokes at his expense. Um, when he was champion, thinking he's a joke of a champion, but he really did improve. Uh, when he was the world champion. To me, he's kind of a little underrated, but he's not maybe world champion material, but in that run, when he was facing John Cena at WrestleMania, that run, yeah, it was a pretty good Miz. You gotta give him props for that. But that's besides the point. That's going all over the place. I'm trying to keep it straight and keep it simple. On topic of the current product, and that is, Seth Rollins has been booked poorly. He's been booked so bad, I can't take him seriously. Just knowing his wins, loss, the storylines drawn out. The 3 hours has to go. Raw's had its lowest rating ever for non-holiday. 2.2, I've heard. Or I think that's what it was. Vince Russo's trying to give Vince. I watch Vince Russo's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the damn dog. Trying to what was I talking about? Yeah, I'm subscribe to Vince Russo's YouTube channel. I think it's a Swerve or something, or just Vince Russo, and he's very interesting to listen to. I love his rants on Dixie Carter and Vince McMahon. Well, maybe not Vince McMahon. He says he likes him. I think it's just to get a job, but whatever. He's awesome. I used to be a big Russo hater, and really, there's no perfect writer. He has his good ideas. He has his bad, but he has more of a success record than pretty much anybody else. So why not give him a shot? I'd say bring him in. He emailed Vince McMahon a letter, and I watched that yesterday, and that's why it's freshly on my mind, and I think he should. Because why not? Why not at least get him to, let's say, write maybe a month's worth of shows, maybe even one. I don't think one would really do. It's not like you'll pop a rating in one episode. You would have to be consistent, and that's the thing wrestling promoters do not understand is it takes time. It takes consistency in your good product to really build the fan base. You can't have one show and expect the ratings to go from like 0.2, which is like TNA's, and into like 1.9 or 2.0 or whatever. You can't expect that. You got to be consistent. TNA. The reason I finally stopped watching TNA, I've watched TNA since 2005 when it first came on Spike. It was one of the first time I ever got to see it. I fell in love with that company. I watched it as a diehard fan. I was a fanboy at times. You know, it really was. It wasn't. I probably wouldn't be as much of a fanboy of it if WWE didn't suck as bad. I'd be watching both of them. But the thing is, people don't really. I don't know. It's a lot of people grew up with WWE, so they judge it unfairly. They both suck. They really suck. And TNA just hasn't had that childhood thing. A lot of people, they didn't grow up with TNA like they did with WWE, so they don't have that connection. And I grew up with WWE. I didn't grow up with TNA in a way. I mean, I was 15 in 2005, but you could say somewhat. I watched TNA because, well, I watched TNA because it was so entertaining. It was nonstop, awesome. It was action packed. It was an hour at the time. The storylines were short but good. The characters were great. The Alpha male Monty Brown should have been like the fucking Triple H of the company. Or Jeff Jarrett was the Triple H of the company, but maybe Monty Brown could have been who's pretty much a heel, but is barely a face. Like, not Stone Cold. Stone Cold's more of a face than a heel, even in his kind of tweener errors. But you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who's pretty much a heel, but is so damn likable. He could be the face of the company. Maybe I don't know. I can't even. I'm not even gonna bother trying to think. But he could have been that guy. Alpha male Monty Brown could have been like a fucking 10-time world champion plus. I'm not even gonna say more than that. Just at least a 10-time world champion or a long reigning world champion, multi-time long reigning champion. That's another thing I hate about TNA is that they don't have long reigning champions. I think they need to just have Lashley win the title and keep it for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and just build up stars while he's dominating everyone because he's legit. He's fucking entertaining to see wrestle. Give him a manager. Give him somebody who can talk and let him go in the ring and be the destroyer he is. But TNA, after that all the fucking heel turns randomly with Joe joining the Beatdown Clan and Low Key, it just became so fucking tedious, so fucking unrealistic in my head, even for wrestling standards. I got pissed off after Joe turned heel randomly after like kind of relinquishing his title. He was the Awesome X Division champion for a little while, and he was kind of building that title back up, which they done so many times. They build it up for like a little while, then they stop, then they build it up for a little while, then they stop. There's no consistency in TNA, and the heel turns are so fucking bad. It's like WWE, and TNA. I used to give so much praise for the fact that they weren't like WWE. They didn't fucking have heel turns like WWE. If somebody was a heel, they was a heel. If they just was a heel, they wouldn't always cheat. They would cheat when they need to, and barely it was the endings in TNA was barely bullshit. It was barely swerves, and that's what I loved about TNA. It was always fucking satisfying ending, even if it did cheat. They cheated in a way where it felt like a real match. It didn't feel like, oh shit, everything before the ending just didn't matter. That's the way WWE's always been. It's always about that swerve, always about that storyline. It doesn't matter about the point A to point B. It matters about point C or F or whatever the last point is. WWE just books people poorly. All I care about is NXT. Now let me move on to NXT. I love NXT, but I haven't watched it in a while. It's not must see for me. It's good. It's just it's kind of a little bland, but it's good. It's at least watchable. It's what Raw should be. It should be at least bland but watchable. If anything, that should be the bottom line. Not the bottom line, the bottom of the barrel. That should be, what they at least trying to go for. A bad show every now and then, sure. You can't help that. But Raw has been unwatchable for damn near 10 years for me. Now, some of you, like my friend Jesse online, he watches WWE. He still watches SmackDown. and probably main event and superstars and all that stuff that's still on. I mean, I'm surprised. He's a diehard fan. I don't, I've always kind of I used to go fanboy against him, but you got to hand it to him. At least he finds entertainment out of it. It always pissed me off with him in the past anyway, when we used to get butt heads, why he would watch WWE. It's because of the fact that if you watch WWE, you're not helping them change. They have no reason to change if you're watching it. You're buying their merch. That's the way I see it. And whatever. I can't help that. Let people watch what they want to watch. If they enjoy it, they enjoy it. I used to enjoy TNA. I used to enjoy WWE up until 2006. Five-ish, Batista was what kept me around, even though he moved to SmackDown, which pisses me off to this day. That was a stupid move, moving John Cena to Raw, the A show. Um, that's kind of that was the beginning of my despise in WWE. And TNA was already around at that time, and 2005 was that time. So like, I had very little reason to watch WWE. I watched it by what's the word? I can't think of. Uh, can't think. You're used to watching. Uh, I'm drawing blanks. I used to watch it like that, and that's the only reason I watched it until about 2006. Kurt Angle left ECW, and ECW was good until the end. It kind of became Heat, but in first it felt like a C show, but it was entertaining. It was probably more entertaining than SmackDown Raw. Kurt Angle is what kept me. He was on fire in 2006, TNA and WWE. Kurt Angle was, to me, that was the best Kurt Angle. I mean, Kurt Angle in a way was the best comedic wise in 2001. He was still a good wrestler. Damn, he was funny. But in 2006, he was a machine. He was the best wrestler in the world at that time, to me. I mean, he was always a damn good wrestler, but in 2006, he was red hot. His intensity was just so fucking over the top. And him losing to Cena at that time was such a fucking. I could not believe it. It just seemed so ridiculous to me because Kurt Angle was so good. He went to SmackDown. He won the world title. And, he, feuded with Mark Henry. I remember that. And that was a damn fun feud. I love that. Mark Henry around 2006 and up, even to the Hall of Pain, which, is when I started watching WWE again. I even watched SmackDown that year, by the way, because of Mark Henry. Mark Henry's a damn good champion. He was booked great. And I love that. I wish WWE would do more of that. They can book people right. They don't. That's the thing. Booking, creative, horrible in WWE. They will always be horrible in WWE. That's just the way it is. I can't fucking stress it enough. Like, it just. They do not know how to book people. You cannot have people wrestling the same guys. They don't have jobbers anymore. They don't have fucking. They don't have hype matches anymore. They just have strictly people getting buried all the time because you saying nobody wants to see a jobber anymore. Nah, 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 nah. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, maybe the internet fans don't want to see a jobber anymore because they're thinking, oh, every match has to be a 5-star match. Oh, so what are you fucking going to pay at the pay-per-view for? You're not going to pay anything for that. You're because you've already seen John Cena versus fucking Randy Orton 9,000 times. I wonder why. Some on Raw, some on fucking pay-per-view. A lot on pay-per-view. Almost every fucking single pay-per-view since 2000 and fucking, I don't even know when they first fought, but they fought a lot. I remember seeing SmackDown versus Raw the game, thinking that would be cool to see John Cena versus Randy Orton. Not anymore. It's been done to death. Learn to fucking create new stars. Learn to put them in the main event. I'm surprised Seth Rollins is in the main event. It's only because he's a heel. Because they don't know how to push faces unless they're fucking over as fuck. Like Austin. And you're not going to have that unless they're just likable. Just like naturally likable like Daniel Bryan. or Punk, who's just fucking nice to listen to on the mic, and he has this nice like CM Punk had this fresh this the way he would present himself. He was just naturally uh why can't I think of the simplest words in this video? Confident. He was confident and collected, and he would just present himself in a way where it was like interesting and it was fun and it was funny and it was intense. Everything kind of just put together to make this awesome wrestler. To me, Punk was a collection of those things. Daniel Bryan was more just likable. He wasn't over because of his ROH days or his wrestling ability. He was over because he was just somebody you wanted to cheer for. You just liked the guy. He was he was like the little guy the little engine that could. He was awesome for that reason, that little story. But they push, you know, them pushing Daniel Bryan down and being forced to push him because of the fans pretty much demanding it. WWE can create great wrestling matches with almost anyone. They could do it with Roman Reigns. They could do it with John Cena. But yet they fucking don't fucking push these guys to a believable level. I will never take anyone in WWE seriously because they was buried for so many years. They really are taking up spots. Dolph Ziggler, as much as we like him, and I used to hate the guy. I used to think he was overrated from the IWC. But he actually, to me, he's kind of coming to his own personality wise. He's kind of a badass in a way. And mainly was that WWE online video with him and the cocky high dollar guy, the who thinks of himself highly. I forgot his name. Sandow. That I think there was a spray commercial type thing that they was doing the WWE.com YouTube video. And I watched that and I was thinking he really is coming to his own personality wise. I really liked him. He was just naturally funny to me. Just one of those naturally funny guys that you kind of want to see. You would watch a podcast of, like Stone Cold. He's a naturally likable guy. He's a badass. He's pretty much everything I want to see. Like the reason why Stone Cold is my favorite wrestler of all time is because in deep down inside, I love that badass of a character and it's an extension of his personality. And you got people like that. You got to push people like that. People who can just get themselves over without much. People like fucking what's his name? I can't think in this video. But anyway, that guy, the internet champion, Zack Ryder. Yeah, yeah. For some reason I can't think of this video for real. I don't know why. I didn't really. I'm kind of sleepy, I guess is why. But yeah, he's awesome. But he was booked so badly. He can never recover from that. I don't know if he's injured now or if he's even wrestling or what. I haven't heard of him in years since 2011. But he was awesome. He was fucking on top of his game. And bam, he was booked so badly. I didn't even want to see him wrestle anymore. I didn't even care. Like that is the thing. I don't even care about fucking Kevin Owens that much at this point because I know that they're not going to have much for him. They're going to be, and if he is champion, they're going to be having him these stupid storylines with this stupid angles, stupid fucking matches that end badly or don't fucking feel like an NXT fight. Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, I like to call him because I can't stand the name Kevin Owens. So everyday man name. It's like John Smith if he was a wrestler named John Smith. It's like the most common name in the world. I don't know, one of them. I can't stand that name. I like the KO thing. That's kind of cool. KO Kevin Owens. But other than that, I love a lot of the NXT guys. That's why I started watching NXT specifically for El Generico, whatever his name is now. Which I didn't know was El Generico at the time, I will admit. But I have seen Off the Rope show guy, Leg Daddy, say it. And I was like, really? That's him? I didn't know that because I thought he would always wrestle with the mask. I heard he retired years ago. I remember seeing on when I was listening to the Steve Austin podcast, they said El Generico, Kevin Owens said El Generico retired. I thought. I thought he said that, and that's why I was so shocked that Sami Zayn, that's his name. There we go. Who's still there, wrestling. Who is, unless he's the replacement El Generico. I know that they said El Generico had a replacement, but I don't know. Anyway, uh, I that's the reason why I don't want to watch WWE anymore. It's just everything. Every time they book somebody, they have to be consistently cheered or instantly sell merch, instantly get the Stone Cold level reactions. It's just it gets on my nerves so bad when they push somebody and then they book them badly, or they book him badly and expect him to get over anyways. It just like I hate. It's cringeworthy when you see people you really get behind get buried so often. It, people like John Cena constantly pushed when he is mediocre at best. He, and to me, in 2006, 2007, around that time, John Cena was probably watchable, but he already then I was tired of seeing him because he was already booked for over a year as a long time champion. He was booked long time, multiple times. That you don't do that. You don't fucking make somebody champion that long, that many times. He's a 15-time champion now, at least. Probably fucking 19 times by now. Who knows? And Triple H, bearing Sting. I mean, is there any more reason why we should watch WWE? I mean, why do y'all people have hope? And obviously, a lot of people are finally coming to the, you know, knowledge or the conclusion or whatever that WWE isn't going to change, and there is no hope left. All the attitude era guys are getting old. Billy Gunn, even though he still looks good, last time I checked, he is getting old. Road Dogg getting old. Everybody from that era, Edge, if he was still wrestling, would be old. Christian retired forcefully from WWE because they just said he was retired, even though he didn't want to be retired. Whatever. So all the people that you think, oh, what if the Attitude Era comes back? On that show that got a 2.2 rating, Stone Cold came back and some others, but that was just a promo. I don't care about a Stone Cold promo. I want to see fucking Stone Cold go through a full match and give a stunner to Brock fucking Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the only reason to watch WWE now. The Suplex City last year at SummerSlam was fucking awesome, but because it was so different, it was such a unique style match to see such a squash, and you don't expect anyone to squash Cena. That's why it was so good. It may not have been a fucking 5-star match. It was just so fucking. It was a spectacle. It was a fucking event in your head because it was so different. It was so something you want to see. And the fact that they did that probably because of that reason should tell you that John Cena shouldn't be the spot he is. But whatever. People went to go and see John Cena versus The Rock 2 times. It was probably one of the most paid for WrestleManias. He was in the main event. You did that. Who cares about shit about The Rock? I mean, yeah, maybe The Rock is awesome, but John Cena was in the match. You kind of helping people. You're helping John Cena be put in that position. Some people like John Cena now for his matches. I don't care if his matches are good. Anyone can be in a good match. It's just the way it's booked. It's who can carry it, who's choreographing the match. It's TNA. I've given up on. I watch Lucha Underground only, and I'm waiting for season 2. Fam, you should have seen the Ultima Lucha pay-per-view type show. It was fucking amazing. It was amazing. It was WrestleMania when the way WrestleMania should be. It was Bound for Glory the way Bound for Glory should be. I'm cutting this shit off. It's gone on too long. I always tell myself, why make a video? That's another reason why I don't make videos. I can't make short videos. I cannot make a video under 10 minutes. I don't know why. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Watch Lucha Underground. Watch NXT. WWE and TNA suck. ROH has been boring since it started. It's never even been good when Tyler Black, my favorite ROH wrestler of all time, who is now Seth Rollins, oddly enough, but I don't care about Seth Rollins because of the way he's booked and the fact that he's in WWE. He was my favorite wrestler in ROH history, and I still don't care him. Him and Delirious. I love Delirious to death. But he's never been booked to anything. He's a booker now, and that sucks. Alright, guys. Thanks. Wrestling sucks. I'm looking forward to GFW. I'm waiting for Global Force Wrestling to get a TV deal and be the new Japan Wrestling in America. I don't even think it's going to be like TNA was. After seeing what they're doing with GFW, I feel like it's going to be New Japan in America more than TNA. TNA was the perfect show. It had hardcore. It had high flying. It had these epic heavyweight battles. You know, Jeff Jarrett was in his part, played his part. Alpha Male, Monty Brown, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, like all these fucking wrestlers and these different styles coming together. I mean, it made the perfect show. The perfect amount of blood and the monster abyss, all these fucking things that made TNA so. Loved TNA back in the day. I was a fucking fan. Die-hard fan. And now I don't even give a shit if this show gets canceled. And it did get canceled pretty much. It's going to be on Destination America until February, I heard. I don't even care because Lucha Underground's around, NXT is around, and GFW will be around. I'm sure to give a TV deal at some point. It may be a bad TV deal, who gives a shit, because it will eventually get a better TV deal like Fox Sports to Spike TV for TNA. Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe. I'm going to try to upload this video, but the upload speed is so fucking slow. That's another reason why I don't make videos. It takes forever to upload video, and I don't feel like converting it, compressing it, or whatever the fuck I have to do to make it upload in time. I finally got some frustrations out making this video. Thank you. Thank you guys if you listen to this video.